Hello friends, welcome to Insights ICANN Initiative. In today's video, we are going to discuss about delimitation process. Before we discuss further regarding the delimitation process, first let us look at the syllabus mapping. Then we will check the video components. This particular topic is related to General Studies Paper 2 Polity, Indian Constitution and Features and Amendments. Now, let us discuss about video components. In this video, we are going to discuss about why this particular thing is in news. This is a delimitation process, why it is in news. You know that it is in news in the context of Women Reservation Bill, that is 128th Constitution Amendment Bill. As it is accepted, then it is going to be the 106th Constitution Amendment Act, because the bill is passed by both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. In this context, government clarified that this process will be implemented. That means the reservation to women will come into effect only after the delimitation process is done. So now we'll discuss about what is this delimitation and how it is related to census, and so far how many times delimitation commissions were appointed, and what is the composition of delimitation commission, whether the delimitation commission decisions are binding or not, whether they can come under the judicial review or not. So these are the areas we are going to discuss in this particular video. And at the end of the video, we are going to discuss about controversies surrounding the delimitation process. What are the controversies? What are the pros and what are the cons regarding the delimitation? Okay. Now, in this slide, you can see delimitation is all about the readjustment of constituencies related to Lok Sabha and Assembly. Delimitation actually includes three things. Number one, increasing or decreasing the number of seats in Lok Sabha as well as Assembly. And the second thing is redrawing the boundaries of constituencies. That means changing the constituency boundaries. Third one is allocation of reservation to constituencies. That is SC reservation, ST reservation, and now it is going to be the women reservation. So this is the delimitation process. Okay. Then who will do the delimitation? Obviously delimitation will be done by the delimitation commission. Now tell me students, this delimitation commission, whether it is a statutory body or constitutional body or executive body. Tell me the answer and put your answers in the comment section. We will come back to that. And I'll explain delimitation commission composition later. Meanwhile, first let us focus in the context. The context is all about the Nari Shakti Vandan Abhiyan. This bill is related to 128th Constitution Amendment Bill. It is introduced but as it is passed by the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and once the President assent is given, it is going to be the 106th Constitution Amendment Act. You know that 105th was regarding the listing of BC by the state governments. 104th was extending SC/ST reservations in Lok Sabha and Assembly for 10 more years and not extending the reservation to Anglo-Indians. Tell me students, which article deals with the definition of Anglo-Indian? Whereas 103 deals with the EWS reservation, which added the Article 15 Clause 6 and Article 16 Clause 6. And 102 is about giving constitutional status to BC Commission, and 101 is about the GST, and 100th Constitution Amendment related to exchange of land between the India and Bangladesh. Now let's see, this bill passed by both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. It is going to give 33% reservation in Assembly as well as Lok Sabha. Next, the Home Minister, he given an announcement that this census and delimitation, they will begin only after 2024 Lok Sabha election. That means this women reservation is not going to be implemented for the 2024 elections, because you know the students, last time delimitation was done in 1971. Okay, 1971. It was frozen till 2001. Again, it was frozen till 2026. That means till 2026, delimitation regarding the number of seats is not going to be happen. After 2026, delimitation commission will appointed. Delimitation commission will be appointed. What is this delimitation commission will do? This delimitation commission will do, number one, strength of seats in Lok Sabha, strength of seats in Lok Sabha. Second one, strength in Assembly. That means how many states should get how many seats? Like Telangana Assembly 119 and Andhra Pradesh Assembly 175, like that. So Karnataka Assembly strength, please comment that strength in your comments. Strength of Assembly, strength of Lok Sabha, and it also decides the boundaries of constituencies, and it is also going to decide about which constituency will be reserved to SC, ST and women. These are the things going to be done by the Delimitation Commission, which is going to be appointed after 2026. These 4 things will be done. Okay. So now let's see population census. Normally this delimitation process is how they will divide the constituencies into different boundaries, and how they will allocate the SC, ST reservation and women reservation in future. It all depends on the census based on the population. Census will be done for every 10 years. Now let's see when was the first time census was done and when was the structured census was started. If you look at here, census is all about basic statistics regarding the human resources. For the first time it was started in 1872, but systematically census was started since 1881. The first it was done by the W.C. Plowden, then Census Commissioner of India. From then onwards, for every 10 years we are doing the census. Now let's see who responsible for the census. The census will be done by the Office of the Registrar General and Census Commissioner, and this works under the Ministry of Home Affairs. And remember, the census process is statutory. They are backed up by the law. Which law? Census is conducting according to the Census Act 1948. And the census exercise, this comes under the Union List. You know that Schedule 7, which is related to Article 246, divides the legislative powers into Union List, State List and Concurrent List. It comes under the Union List, entry number 69. Next, census, of course, it includes 2 components. The first component is house listing and housing census. It is about counting the number of households. Then population enumeration. In the population enumeration, they will take the data related to age, their marital status, religion and their mother tongue, such kind of respective data. First, the housing census will be done. Next, it will be followed with the population enumeration. Next, what is delimitation? Already I explained regarding the delimitation. It is about allocation of seats in Lok Sabha, allocation of seats in Assembly and demarcation of boundaries and reserving the constituencies, okay, based on the population. That is about delimitation process. Why it is need? It is a need because every state should get their proportional number of seats according to their population and the fair division of geographical areas, so that political parties contesting in elections, they have the level playing field. To ensure the level playing field across different constituencies, this delimitation exercise will be done. Then delimitation. Actually, this delimitation process is mentioned in the Constitution under Article 82 as well as under Article 170. They mentioned only about the delimitation process, but they did not mention about delimitation commission. That is the reason delimitation commission is always appointed by the Parliament. So delimitation commission is a statutory body. It never found in the Constitution. It is a statutory body. So far delimitation commissions appointed 4 times: 52, 62, 72, 2002. In 2002, they did not deal with the number of seats in Lok Sabha and Assembly. They only dealt with the reservation as well as they only dealt with the redrawing of the constituencies. That's it. Okay. They did not touch the number of seats in Lok Sabha as well as Assembly. And the 2002 delimitation, it was done and it was came into effect in 2009 elections. That is the reason in 2009 elections, some of you might observe the changing constituency names, changing constituency reservation status. Next, the reservation. In previous videos, I explained you political reservations are according to the Article 330, SC/ST reservation in Lok Sabha, 331 Anglo-Indian reservation in Lok Sabha, 332 SC/ST reservation in Assembly, and 333 Anglo-Indian reservation in Assembly. Whereas 334, it deals with this reservation will be renewed for every how many years? 10 years. That is about 334. Next, delimitation commission. It is appointed by the president and it consists of retired or working Supreme Court judge, but in general it will be the retired Supreme Court judge, because already Supreme Court is overburdened. In that condition, a working Supreme Court judge, generally they won't take this additional responsibility. Election Commissioner of India, as well as concerned state election commissioner in whichever the state the census is going on. So this is about the delimitation commission composition and the decisions, the principles on which delimitation was done. It cannot be questioned in the court. And of course, this delimitation report, it will be laid before both Lok Sabha as well as Assembly, and it doesn't mean that they can add some changes or they can do some modifications. No, they cannot do the modifications. By the way, yesterday I asked you regarding the question related to social contract theory. Social contract theory proposed by Hobbes, clearly defined by the Locke, and it also supported by the Rousseau. So both Hobbes right as well as the Locke, both are right. Next, delimitation. Last time delimitation was done in 2002 and they redrawn the boundaries. Since then, this delimitation was never happened. The controversy regarding the delimitation. You know the students, the states with higher the population, they are getting more number of seats, and the state with less population, they are getting less number of seats. That is the main apprehension, and that is a concern raising by the South Indian states, because South Indian states political representation is going to be reduced. In 1976, through 42nd Constitution Amendment Act, we frozen the delimitation process till 2001, like I said earlier, and in 2001 again we brought one more amendment, 84th Constitution Amendment, and we frozen the delimitation till 2026 according to the population policy. What is the key features of the delimitation? Delimitation involves periodic review of the population spreading. It's an independent commission, equal representation based on the population, data driven and constitutionally mandated according to Article 82. Next, significance of delimitation. Why it has to be done? Equal representation, elections, fairness. That means each and every state, each and every constituency should be given the level playing field. Then we will discuss. Some of the other significances are according to the change in population growth, it will be reflected. Then challenges in the delimitation. Population growth, like I said earlier, North Indian states getting more number of seats, socio-economic disparities, geographical factors, legal and constitutional constraints. These are some of the challenges facing by the delimitation. Then what is the way forward? The way forward is delimitation has to be conducted at regular intervals as mandated by the Constitution, and it is also essential to keep constituencies in sync with the changing demographies. As the demographies are changing, the constituency also must reflect the change. This is the conclusion. Now let's see the yesterday's video question. Which of the following statements is not true? Not true. The date of implementation of the Indian Constitution is 26th November 1949. No. Adapt. Rest of all the three statements are right. Absolutely. Now we'll see today's video question. Today's video question. Consider the following statement about the Delimitation Commission. Read this Delimitation Commission statements and let me know the right answer. Main question. What is delimitation and why it is required? And describe the procedure for the delimitation process in India. What is the procedure? Is there any need to change the process of delimitation in India? This is the main question. As we reach to the end of this video, we'll revise quickly. Okay. In this video, we discussed about what is delimitation and why delimitation is relevant in the context of Nari Shakti Abhiyan Bill, and it is 106 Constitution Amendment Act. And so far, how many delimitation commissions appointed? What is the nature of the delimitation commission? What is the composition? What is the need of that? Previous times when the delimitation commission was appointed, what are the challenges facing by the delimitation process? So these are the aspects we discussed in detail, and this is the detailed analysis regarding the delimitation and census topic.